in the backstage at the St. Paul Civic Center.
Is that where that was?
Yeah.
Oh.
And going out to meet the Road Warriors, and the Road Warriors were getting a bad rap in the AWA for not selling. The Crusher would give them his bolo punch, and they would just stare at him. And God bless the Crusher, and it's Crusher days today. It
is. It sure is. Yeah.
And Crusher, yeah, and he was really struggling with that. This guy, this short, muscle-bound Polish guy who was a legend, and he was amazing, and he was so popular, and that's what I think of. But I think on this very thing, I think if I could be wrong on this, but I think it was a Christmas Eve night, something like that, 1985, right going out of the New Year, and I went out there, and I just wasn't going to sell for Mike and Joe. I was with the Mongolian Stomper and Boris Zukov, and it was a 6-man, and Mike and Joe, and then I remember the magazine. I went down to the little Speedy Market, and it was the first time I was ever in a wrestling magazine. I'm like, that it was a pretty good, and it said, "Are the Road Warriors afraid of Nord the Barbarian?" And there was a lot of eagles flying around, you know. It was not pretty. You had Mike, who was a dear friend, but Mike could be hard to, he had a huge ego going, as Joe, Animal, and that was just the truth. And, but here's one thing again, guys like me and Mike would not even consider really going at it, in a place, we just wouldn't really do it. But there was always a protection back in them years that you think like, well, what if I get in a fight with Joe? If I can, you always think, I might have to kick his ass or get my ass kicked because I am 112-0 in bar fights.
Ooh,
that's a joke.
When the WWE filmed the documentary on the Road Warriors in the early 2000s, being a Robbinsdale guy, were you caught off guard that they didn't interview you for that documentary?
No. What year? Whatever they filmed it, I don't know what year they filmed it.
Early 2002, 2003, right around there.
Okay, I was totally MIA. You couldn't have found me, and not that I was trying to. I just was very. I had a hobby farm, and I was my kids, and we were into horses, and we're out in Laconia, Minnesota, and I was working hard at the car lot, so I didn't. Yeah, I gotta say, when they did that documentary, I gotta tell you that because I know them guys so well that you didn't actually feel I would have been a good guy to interview on. Joe Laurinaitis, Animal. Joe was an 18-year-old kid from Irondale, following us guys around. He wanted to be like us guys. And then Joe got bigger, and he played football at Golden Valley Lutheran College, and Joe had a heart of gold, and God rest his soul, and so did Mike. And they did change wrestling, them guys. It was don't sell, be a badass, and so by the time I got broken, now it was time to be like the Road Warriors, and they did change wrestling. And I remember I was Mid-South, they came down to one of them Superdome shows. They says, "Wow, I thought you guys worked for Vern." I didn't understand how a guy could work in the AWA and still get brought in to Mid-South. And I never put a lot of thought into how the territories worked and how pro wrestling, what to do. Like you had these geniuses, you know, Dusty and Piper and all these guys that they understood it, and I wasn't out to understand it. I was out to have fun. So it just it was a different, yeah. But yeah, it was great. You meet the greatest guys and the greatest, you know, these fans you meet in these different cities. God, they're a lot of fun, man. They are.